I'm already walking 5 minutes around just to complete 2 quests that I have to complete.
I had to go
That
back
not.
to the Swamp of Sorrows to do some quests over there because I didn't have enough quests in the Blasted Lands to become level 58. So,
Wow.
it's great. Buckling Demon was the last one. Uh, uh,
Yeah, I need to. I had to disguise myself once again and give some items to some people,
of course.
but I only found one.
Oh,
I've done this quest with my paladin as well, on my alliance side, and I found every bit. Ah, there's one. Yay!
level 58. Finally. Let's
Wow.
go to Outlands. Go to Orgrimmar's Cleft of Shadow. Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
Yep.
I
You're the
am
first one going
so
to
happy.
Outland.
Isn't there a one in Stoneheart teleporter actually? Let's go check it out. No, but with Turelian and Illyria, would they settle down? I think
Not.
they came together because of the orcs and their
Yep.
invasion, so they would never truly meet. I'd imagine.
I imagine that now.
So I guess the first time they would meet would be during the Burning Crusade, or the Burning Legion that attacks. If that alliance still exists, so eventually they would meet up again. They would fall in love again because that's who they are.
Yep.
I guess they would be fighting in that war. I guess Anduin would be an old man or an older man at that point, so he might eventually just die because, you know, he isn't the strong lion that he was before. I guess that would be the turning point for Turelion again to become what he is and pretty much take names and kill demons. So that's Anduin and Turelion sorted out. I guess they would come back into that path as well, because some future things you can't change, including
Nope.
some deaths. It's just finding out where they would die. I guess Anduin would die later, and Turelion would find his powers. He would become like, alright, screw you all. But he never would ally up with Khadgar, because Khadgar at this point is evil.
Yeah, Khadgar is evil at this point. Yeah. Holy shit.
Would he be redeemable? I think that's a great question, because Khadgar is... Well, you have to use Khadgar for a lot of things, especially now, you know, at the point of Warlords of Draenor and Legion.
Yep.
You have Khadgar at the front, fighting, taking names, kicking ass, and warning again
Bad.
for the Burning Legion. So would he redeem himself? I guess he might redeem himself during the first
Maybe.
war.
I've. Maybe. Yeah.
I guess it's a bit of a question. What the hell? Talandrias would move his hand to his pouch as he'd go to take out a few silver coins. He would then go to he would then go to place them onto the counter as he'd look at the bartender before speaking. A glass of Lord Rayon lambic and a glass of red, please. He would then, a moment later, wrap his fingers around the glass before handing the Lord Rayon lambic over to Sun. Some people are role playing. Anyway,
Wow.
that's how much fun that can be. He would probably redeem himself at the end by defeating probably Medivh. You know, be like, alright,
Yeah.
screw you, take this blast to the face and be gone
Shut
with
up.
it.
Yeah. Be gone and yeah.
Which wouldn't make him a hero, but more of a hermit. Again, which he eventually became as Khadgar himself. He didn't always be the way that he was. Or that he is now. So I guess that would possibly give him the position of Guardian as well, because he did defeat the Guardian and became like as powerful as he is.
Yep.
Only younger, a lot younger.
But Khadgar will still be a warlock.
But he still would be
At that
well.
point,
Yes, he wouldn't. He would probably not change it, but he would probably figure out a way to use it and not be corrupted. I'd
I
imagine,
think so. Yeah, I imagine that.
because Khadgar is a pretty powerful caster. In this case, he wouldn't be a mage anymore. In and of itself, he would be able to figure out like, all right, I'm using demonic powers.
Yep.
Uh, that's something, I guess. So that would be Khadgar pretty much sorted out. Is there anyone else really that needs to have something happen to them, which needs to happen pretty much? Because I guess there isn't really any person, not with the Burning Legion. I'm trying to think about it. I've never, like I've said it before, I've never finished Warcraft 3, so I'm not entirely sure anymore what truly happens most of the time. Illidan wouldn't become as demonic as he was, because he wouldn't have found the Skull of Gul'dan, because the Skull of Gul'dan would never
No,
be there.
Skull of Gul'dan would never be there, so I imagine that. The thing is, I think that Illidan's Storm Rage is still going to the Tomb of Sargeras, and
Yes, he might.
to get the Eye of Sargeras.
Yeah.
So probably he will still get the Eye of Sargeras, but the person that stopped him, if I'm correct, was Arthas. If I'm correct. Am I correct?
I'm
Or
not
am
sure.
I
I
just
think
saying
Arthas
this?
was the one that sent him there in the first place, because Arthas at that time was the Death Knight who was working for the Lich King, who was already thinking, I'm not gonna be the sucker that still works for the Burning Legion. I've got my own agenda now, so screw you. And that's when he told Illidan, like, alright, you can find your powers there. Have fun with it. Probably thinking, alright, he will fight against the demons, and eventually, of course, he joined the demons.
Yeah.
And
I kind of forgot who stopped Illidan from getting the Eye of Sargeras.
I'm
Because
not
he was
entirely sure.
channeling the power already, and you had to stop him. And I think that it was Arthas, but it could have also been...
Could it have been Malfurion? I know in a questline you had, or in the game you had to follow Illidan with eventually with our warder. What's her name again? Shadow Song?
Yeah, I think it was... I think it was still Maiev that had to...
Maiev. Yeah, that was her name. Maybe the chief? I'm not entirely sure. I should play Warcraft 3 again.
I play always through the campaign like once a year from both Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne, but somehow I forgot.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't stick. It doesn't stick in your mind, but anyway, I think maybe Illidan would be more fucked up because of the Eye of Sargeras if he doesn't get stopped. Maybe Shadows Maiev would go after him.
Yep.
Again. I'm not sure. Would he be banished eventually? He might be.
He might be, but he can't go to Outland to escape.
So he'll probably be captured again and put back into prison.
Yeah, he will probably be... I think that Maiev would capture him and put him back in his cage. Again.
Yeah.
No Lady Vash, of course.
Well, Vash would be around because
Yeah, she would be around, but she wouldn't be controlled by... Well, controlled. It's not really control, but... There's no way that she is going to help Illidan, because... He gained the help from the from the Nagas with how do you call it? With the Skull of Gul'dan.
True. I guess he wouldn't be able to get Vash then behind him. Just trying to think what else there could be.
Well, he of course still gets the Eye of Sargeras somehow.
Yeah,
I
he
think.
would get. He probably would get the eye. I guess that's pretty much a given at the moment. He would get it. He
Yep.
would power himself again to fight the demons, as that was his first plan. I think he wouldn't join up with them, with the demons,
No,
because
no.
the Lich King isn't around, so they don't need Illidan to blow up Northrend. Pretty much, they don't want him to stop it. So that he wouldn't join the demons. He would still be pretty screwed over by his powers, become more demonic-like. Would probably still be banished by Malfurion, who recognizes that he did help against the demons. Only, look what he is now. I guess the biggest question is, the Broken Isles, where Tomb of Sargeras lays, is that in Eastern Kingdoms or in Kalimdor? Because I'm not entirely sure.
I think just in the Eastern Kingdoms, right?
Now, which would mean that Illidan doesn't go there because they don't know what's over there and if they are fighting the demons as well. I am in Outlands, by the way. I am now finally fighting more demons. We're just talking about demons everywhere. Look at that frickin' pit commander with his 184,000 HP against my 9,000. If he knows about the Tomb of Sargeras, he might, because of his first time already dealing with the demons in the War of the Ancients, of course.
Yep.
So I guess he might know about it. But then, of course, the question still remains: would he go to the Eastern Kingdoms without?
Does he even know about the Tomb of Sargeras?
Yeah,
also
would he even know about it? That's the biggest question around. Because if he doesn't, he would not go there. He would never pick up the Eye of Sargeras. He wouldn't be as screwed over as he is, and he would probably be banished again.
Yep.
Because of his help against the demons.
Poor Illidan.
Yeah, Illidan has it. He's either pretty screwed or not. There's no in between for him right now, and it just all depends if he knows about the whole damn tomb or not. Because if he does, he goes. If he doesn't, he doesn't go. I guess that's just...
then he will probably go back to prison. Probably.
Quite possibly, he would always go back to prison. I think that's just a given. He wouldn't ever come out of it without going to prison.
Yep. And of course, Malfurion Stormrage would be awakened once again.
Yes, he would be awakened.
Emerald Dream.
He would still be he would be going around kicking ass, taking names, pretty much. Or at least that's what I'd imagine. They would wake him, just like in Warcraft 3. They woke him up like, all right, we've got crap coming after us right now. Just help us out, and your druids. These demons are back, and that's a bad thing. We need to stop it. And so yeah, he would be awakened. Tyran would be around. We would wake up Illidan again, or get him out of prison for a while, and they would annoy Maiev. That's just a given as well. But on top of that, I guess there isn't much else. Because I think that's pretty much covered Warcraft 3 and the biggest things that happen.
Yep.
King Lane would die, of course. Probably as well in its war against the demons, because that's what he does. He is also, as far as I know, a warrior king. So he would fight on the front lines.
Yep.
So Varian would come into power. And Onyxia would play it as well, or play him. And Van Cleef would be kicked out. His wife would also die because Onyxia is still around.
The Defiance Brotherhood would still be a thing. Together with Dead
would still be a thing. Yep.
Together with Dead Mines.
Lordaeron would be around. It wouldn't be the Undercity.
We haven't talked about Worgens yet.
The Worgens,
because the Battle of Gilneas is of course against the Forsaken.
Yes, eventually, yeah. Gilneas started up building a wall around itself to protect itself against the humans and the orcs. So that's what happened first. They would still become Worgen because they became Worgen because of the Druids of the Fang who got captured in the Emerald Nightmare, and they got corrupted in there. And when they were being pulled out, they were trying to gain more power with their wolf form, and they were just stuck in it, in the middle of it. I think Goldrin also at the time got screwed over, who is the wolf that gave the power to the Druids of the Fang. Or I don't think they were, maybe they weren't called Fang, but the Druids that turned into wolves eventually. But they would still be around, and they would still try to figure out a cure for the feral versions of these Druids. And they would still be around, biting Gilneans, and they would become Warlords. Pretty much. So they would still be around. Eventually they would probably either live in isolation, being who they are, because no one would ever come around to save them, because the Night Elves save them, because they know what's going on. But they wouldn't truly... eventually they would know about it, of course, so maybe they would still save them and give them the powers back. Yeah, they would be around. They would be saved and would be around. They would eventually probably join the Alliance. Not happily, because of course there's still that problem between humans, like, you know, why didn't you help us in the Burning Legion and stuff like that. Because they would probably do the same thing. They would probably build up the wall and be like, nope, no one's coming in here. You're not, I'm not, the demons are definitely not coming in here. And because that was their reaction against the orcs, and that would probably be the reaction against the demons as well. Be like, alright, nope, we're just gonna close it up and pretend like nothing is going on. And save our own hide. And so they would be around eventually, yeah. It probably would be the same time as Cataclysm happened, because eventually Deathwing would go ballistic still. Because that's something that the orcs never truly made happen. He became it because of the old gods, and the old gods are still around. So I guess they would come around during Cataclysm, where the wall would be broken up. At that point, Bolvar would still be alive, because no death, because no Lich King means no Wrath of the Lich King, which means no dying.
No Bolvar dying.
This also would mean that Darien Mograine is still around, by the way. He would still be a paladin as well, just like his father. And Ashbringer would never be corrupted. And would not be in the hands of Tyrion Fordring, but in the hands of Darien Mograine. Actually. Because no undead.
I need to go to the southeastern side of Burning Steps to get a ride to the Swamp Sorrows.
Oh yeah, just look for a rocket, because...
Yeah, so somewhere in the southeastern.
Yeah.
So I'm just going south right now.
You might want to do all the quests in Swamp Sorrows and don't be like me and try to skip it, because you need them to actually get to level 58, because otherwise, yeah, you'll be stuck like me for a while. I guess eventually, now we are up to Cataclysm. I guess not much else would change, because the orcs aren't truly necessary in a lot of things. Pandaria, of course, you have Garrosh would never happen, so that would never be the screw up that happened.
So no, you wouldn't even meet Jan Stormstout then?
No, it kind of depends if they would join in a war against the Burning Legion. Because the Burning Legion would harm everyone, and if the Pandarians want to join that, I guess they would, but it kind of depends if they do or don't, because the Worgen they don't join because they build their wall, because that's what they do.
Yep.
So I guess we probably would never see the Pandas, which means we would never go to Pandaria, which means that whole expansion never happened, and I'm okay with that. That expansion doesn't have to happen.
No, absolutely not, because Miss Pandaria is such, yeah.
Yeah, which means also Warlords of Draenor never happened. Which comes us back to Legion, and the fact that we will probably have a constant war with the Burning Legion, until we find a way to actually defeat them.
Yep.
That's what an interesting world that would be. No orcs, and immediately we only have Burning Legion running
Yeah,
around
that's the only
everywhere.
thing. We have the Warlocks and the Burning Legion, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though that would be a pretty awesome fight to see, I guess we might be all happy that the orcs did come around towards Azeroth.
Yeah.
Even though not everyone truly likes Thrall, let's be happy he was around. Oh, because that would be really weird, I guess.
Yeah, thinking about it, it is a little bit weird indeed to think about that.
Yeah, it's like you
From
said, there is no way the orcs would never come to Azeroth, because there are so many reasons they would. No, and in a what if scenario, of course, you know, you try to think about reasons why they wouldn't, but there is no reason they wouldn't come around. So in our line right now that we just created, never would happen. Just never. Well, maybe ever, because there might be a one line where it does happen, but it would be very rare.
Yeah.
And luckily so, because we've got a better game out of it because of the orcs.
Because of the orcs. Orcs are awesome.
Yep.